Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have this key, right? I wonder if you know about it. Like I have this key, and just imagine if you do. Like you have this key that you can use to like open up something, and inside of it is like a way to get rid of like all the dangerous things that had been like stuck behind this one gate, this door. And so you take that key and you open it up so that all of that stuff that's been behind that door can go in and go where it's supposed to, so that the danger for you is gone and the health for you is there. Well, just imagine today we're going to show you what your key is, and we're going to show you how to use your key so that you can open the floodgates to get rid of the dangerous sugar that wants to be behind that thing in your blood vessels, causing all of this inflammatory problems inside and leading to disease. And instead, we're going to change it to open the door to allow energy and strength and vitality to flood your life instead of inflammation. Would you like to do that? Well, I certainly would. How are you? I am Dr. Helen, and I am your fearless leader on this 40-day accelerated healing detox boot camp, where we are right here today on day 36. It is amazing that we only have 4 more days left in our time together, and I have so thoroughly enjoyed it. We've seen some amazing changes, some amazing numbers that have come down, from blood pressure to blood sugar to weight loss to more energy, to feeling more vital, and just having clarity. These things are exceptionally spectacular because this is a very powerful tool for lowering your blood pressure and lowering your blood sugar, which kind of increases clarity. It's such a wonderful thing to be able to do that kind of thing. But it can lower your blood pressure and lower your blood sugars really significantly. So if you're on medications, for instance, you may need to speak with your provider, because if there are medications that need to be decreased, to changed, or discontinued, they are the ones to do that for you. So you want to make sure you keep them on board, because here we allow food to be our medicine. That's what we have been taught. Like I learned all about Hippocrates and 400 BC, like years and thousands of years ago. He's talking about this thing about allowing food. I guess that's hundreds of years ago. So that's a couple thousand. But to allow food to be their medicine, to allow food to be our medicine. So here we are on day 36. So I don't know if this is your day one, your day two, or your day 36, but if it's your day one, welcome. If it's your day two, welcome back. And if it's your day 36, look at you, because you're still here. So give yourselves a pat on the back, give yourselves a love hug. Tell yourself you are the bomb diggity. You are still here, and you're doing it because your goal and mine is to stop diabetes in its tracks. And that's what we're going to do. So in order to stop diabetes, I'm going to tell you what we are going to learn today. So today we're going to learn about how movement unlocks muscles. So the gates, that muscle gate, to allow the glucose to be quickly absorbed into it. We're also going to learn about the best types of exercises to enhance insulin function. And then we're going to talk about the best nutrients and the timing that can maximize glucose uptake and energy. And then we're going to give you actionable steps to restore insulin sensitivity and reclaim your health, because that's what we're trying to do here. So let's talk about this key, like this like amazing key that is necessary to do all of these things that we need to do. So every time you move, you send a powerful signal to your muscles to open their door for glucose to get inside. The idea is to lower the blood sugar and fuel your body. We're going to be talking more about how that fuel gives you energy in our subsequent discussions. But right now we're going to be talking about how that we can use our key to allow this glucose to go into where it wants to. And then we'll talk later about how it produces that energy. But exercise makes your cells hungry for glucose. And like no insulin is needed, just make those cells hungry for the glucose. And so what do? Well, Let's say that not all movements are created equal, right? There are some things that you can do that will that won't have like such a significant effect on it, and then there's other things that you can do that'll have a much greater significant effect on it. So all not all movements are created equal. Large muscle groups like your legs and your glutes and your back are like secret weapons. These muscles are powerhouses and they demand massive amounts of glucose. So when you activate them, it helps to drain the sugar out of the bloodstream and move it into the muscles. When you do like lighter weights, it's not it's these lifting weights isn't just for like bodybuilders. It's like a glucose burning machine. So when you do resistance training, it increases insulin sensitivity, and it does that for like up to 24 hours after your workout, so that every meal makes you work harder, right? Making every meal work in your favor to get glucose to be taken up into the muscles. So walking can actually lower the blood sugar levels by like a few milligrams per minute, or up to 50 times more than like if you just kind of sat there and you didn't do, if you like the couch potato, you can actually get 50 times more glucose into your muscles than you do with just sitting, right? You can get a little bit sitting, but not very much, which is why we call them couch potatoes. But the amount it lowers blood sugars depends on the intensity and the duration of the walk. So, according to research, excuse me, according to research, resistance training generally has a greater impact on lowering your blood sugar compared to walking alone. So, if you put them side by side and you had resistance training on one side and walking on the other side, and you do it in the right combination, then studies will show that the resistance training can lead to a more significant reduction in your hemoglobin A1C. And that's a marker for the long term, like what your blood sugar has been doing. You remember we talked about that like on day 2, like what your blood glucose levels are compared to what your hemoglobin A1C is. That hemoglobin A1C like will give you a significant reduction when you put the right combination of exercises together. So that's where we are. So compared to aerobic exercise like walking, potentially maybe it's because of its ability to increase muscle mass, right? And so we're talking about like opening up the receptors where glucose can actually get inside of the cells. And so we're increasing the muscle mass, the surface area where there's more area for glucose to come in. Y'all remember that term surface area from years ago, like when you were like in high school or something, it talked about the surface area of different things. You thought you never hear that again, but here it comes all the way back. So this increase in surface area makes the glucose uptake more effective. So, for optimal results, you want to increase the aerobic training and you want to increase resistance training, and put those things together in the right amount, with the right amount of resistance training to get your best effect. And what is the effect that we're looking for? Is we're looking for a decrease in blood sugar. So if you walk like 10 minutes after your meal, it can slash your blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. So a simple, consistent habit while walking, like after meals, can be as powerful, even more powerful, as taking a pill. Pretty significant, right? So when you eat matters. Consuming protein and fiber before high carb meals slows sugar absorption, while eating after exercise drives glucose like straight into the muscle rather than storing it as fat. So we have like a strategic way of eating, like the strategy, like when you're in a war, there's somebody in the room strategizing on how to win the war. We are in our room strategizing on how we're going to win the war on diabetes. So we're going to do this strategic eating so that we can get better control of our blood sugar. Make sense? If it makes sense, I want you to put it in chat. Makes sense. I'm tracking with you. Let me know if it is working the way that we want it to. So we are looking at a recap of like all the things that we were looking at before, right? All the things that we've seen before, where we talked about high blood sugars triggering inflammation. We talked about we talked about how to get our glucose down and getting that glucose into it. So when we rethink this and we reflect on all the things that we've learned and kind of revise the way we look at things, right? Traditional treatments focus on symptom management. Let me repeat that. I'm glad it makes sense. Traditional treatment, the way I was taught in medical school, and I went to graduate school first and I went to medical school after. I did two residencies at the same time. I am telling you this, when I was at Hopkins and when I was at Sinai doing these combined residencies, nobody talked about how to institute lifestyle changes to decrease blood sugar levels, right? They always taught me that what you do is these are the symptoms that a person is going to experience when they have, for instance, type 2 diabetes. This is across the board. Every single disease that I studied, every single one that every single patient that I cared for with those different diseases. And it was always interesting because I would be studying something in my residency. I'd be studying something and it was just like God brought that. I want you to read this. And then the next day I would see a patient that had the same thing that I read about the night before. And I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. Because it was almost like they always thought, like, wow, she's so knowledgeable. That was because I had just been directed to what to study the night before. And I feel like now I have been directed on what to study so that I can help people with lifestyle changes, and it puts a whole different perspective on the way that I was taught, this traditional way of just treating the symptoms instead of getting to the root cause of it and introducing lifestyle changes that really just get to the root cause, because my goal is to stop these kinds of things, like these big old gross high blood sugar levels, 500s, 400s, 300s, whatever the case may be. Like, our goal is to stop that. There is a way to do that so that we don't have to see these crazy blood sugar levels, 300s. This is like, it's really just too much, and that puts too much strain on those red blood cells with having almost like this heavy load of a sugar attached to it, where it's causing all of these scrapings inside of the blood vessels. It really becomes too much. So when we talk about those large muscle groups, we're talking about large muscle groups that unlock the glucose gates. So how do we get that? Now, we're not trying to tell you that you have to look like a bodybuilder to be able to do it, but we are looking at the largest muscle groups to be able to get that blood glucose taken up in there. You see, this guy has like these huge dumbbells. When we talk about his large muscle groups, he's got these huge dumbbells and he's doing like push-ups with these dumbbells. And so this is not what I'm trying to tell you to do, right? There are very significant ways of doing it, different exercises that we can do to make that happen. But as we continue on, we're looking at things, looking at ways to supercharge our weight, like these, using how to get our large muscle groups to engage so that we can actually get the key to open the door to allow that glucose to get inside of it. And it likes to go inside muscle and it likes to go in fat. Our goal is to get it to go in muscle so that it doesn't increase the amount of fat that we're storing. Right? So when we do the resistance training, it's supercharging your insulin function. We walk, and when we walk, it instantly reduces blood sugar spikes, right? So I can go outside when I finish eating, I can go outside and walk for 10 minutes, and it's going to immediately start to lower my blood glucose levels. I always tell you to stretch before you walk, stretch after you walk, to increase the amount of glucose that'll go inside of the cells. These things are really important. Nutrient timing is important because it will maximize the glucose absorption. It shows you how to get that in. So all of these things are important in getting the glucose. So we talked about how glucose is needed and what cells, how it works as a key to get glucose inside of the muscle cells instead of getting the glucose inside of the fat cells, because the fat cells will store excess glucose as fat, right? Fat loves fat. It will store it as fat. We'd rather utilize the glucose instead of storing it. Your body knows how to store enough of it in the liver. It'll take it in the liver, but the excess is like going to be stored as fat. And we don't want that excess. So we talk about how to use the nutrients at the right time in order to get the glucose to go inside of the cell. We talked about how to get the glucose, what exercises to do, how to get the glucose inside the muscles quickly, and how to do it over time. We talked about how to use your key effectively. And if all of this makes sense, I saw that people were saying it makes sense. I'm hoping that we accomplish that goal, and that now you're thinking, wow, there are some things that I can do today to help my blood glucose level, right? We are talking about what are the next steps that you can do today. Because what I have tried to do in all of those discussions and all of the soliloquy that I've been talking about today is how to give you the key so that you can take your key and unlock your body's full potential. But remember, knowledge, this is just education, right? I can give you the education, but it's the action that will actually allow it to work. So we have like expert coaches that are here to guide you every step of the way to ensure that you master these powerful techniques so that you get the results that you want to get. So we don't want you to do it alone. We don't you don't have to do it alone, because I know it can sound overwhelming and it can sound like daunting, but we have some help. So don't worry about that. You can join our program today to help you to get on the right road to getting this glucose into where it needs to be, because our goal is to stop the diabetes. Like we have a site on our website. You can just sign up for our health optimization program. We have signature programs. If you need coaching from us, we can actually supply the coaches. We can supply a nutritionist for you. We can supply a fitness coach for you. We can apply a lifestyle coach for you, and we can apply a mental, like a mindset coach for you, so that we can keep you in the game. Because oftentimes the people who fail at this are the people who give up. And we know that this is not an easy road. It was a lot easier excuse me, to become diabetic than it is to stay undiabetic. So that is the goal as we work towards stopping diabetes. So today we talked about how movement unlocks muscle gates to absorb glucose. We gave you a key. We told you the best types of exercises to enhance insulin function. We also talked about how nutrient timing can maximize glucose uptake and maximize the amount of energy that your body makes. We've also given you actionable steps that you can do today to restore insulin sensitivity and reclaim your body's health, because we're not talking about just feeling good. We're actually working towards gaining optimal health. So every step that we have been giving you each day over the last 36 days has been trying to give you the steps to get to optimal health, not just feeling better, but to optimize your health. There's a huge difference. We have used our book, our Reverse It book, and our Reverse It journal as the exact blueprint that we use in our program to help people reverse type 2 diabetes. And then our course to become undiabetic, and then our course to stay undiabetic. Those things are available through our program and through our website. You can just let us know your request and we can help you accomplish your goals. So visit us at pain, the number 2 wellness, and this is important, wellnesshealthcare.com, not paintowellness.com. That's a whole different company. We are not affiliated. We help people reverse type 2 diabetes. We also specialize in mold toxicity, which we're finding a lot of people have that mold toxicity and anxiety. We also specialize in reversing type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes, and then in leaky gut. So those are the things that we focus on, and you'll find lots of information about that on our website at pain, the number two, wellnesshealthcare.com. We also have our cookbook that gives you you have the recipe in front of you. Like, it's so spectacular because you have the recipe in front of you and the video that shows you how to do what it is that you're making in that recipe. So make sure you join our program so that you can have direct access to that. And then on a separate note, if you just want just information from us and you just want us to give you the tips and the tricks and the restaurant hacks and how to read labels and how to stock your pantry and how to have gratitude and how to forgive, and all of those different things will be a part of our health optimization program to keep you on track of reversing type 2 diabetes. Our signature program, actually our silver program, will include everything that you just saw. It'll include all the courses, it'll include the cookbook, it'll include the videos, it'll include the books. All of that comes with our signature programs, which involves coaching as well with your nutritionist and your lifestyle coach and your fitness coach and your mindset person. So we have what actually fits your needs, your budget, and how you want to do it and how you want to fight the disease, because we're here to put our boxing gloves on with you to fight for your optimal health. Here we go. Are there questions? Are there questions that you would like to ask? I know that our session was a lot shorter today, which is actually kind of good. We've always run over. Now we're running under. Isn't that pretty spectacular? Are there any questions that you'd like to ask? So Billy says his morning sugar was 166. He ate a few nuts in the night. Blood pressure 150 over 79, going down since I started back juicing. Beet sugar reached 264 after dinner. Walked, no shot. Sugar down to 174. So you had a 264 blood sugar. Was that 2 hours after you ate and after you drank your sugar? Because it tends to go down a lot faster than your food would. Like 2 hours later, a 264 is different than drinking a juice where it takes your blood sugar up afterwards, and then it comes down as your body starts to absorb that a lot faster. But at any rate, it's awesome that you only had a small shot from that 350 units down to a small amount. Hey, I give you a thumbs up. That is very exciting. And you are like a Thousand Island salad dressing kind of person, right? Well, you know what? I will develop one for you. We'll have that in our membership program for you. Let me make a note to myself that you want a Thousand Island salad dressing. So we'll put that in our membership program just for you. All right. I'm glad to see that this is great information. I am glad to see that it makes sense for you as we continue to get the glucose out of our bloodstream to decrease the inflammation, increase insulin sensitivity, decrease insulin resistance so that we can decrease disease. And we're not talking about just type 2 diabetes. We're talking about other things, other diseases that are inflammation driven. So let's start driving in the other direction, away from disease, and drive towards optimal health. Thank you so much for joining us today. I had an absolutely spectacular time, as I always do, having an excellent time just spending this time with you and giving you tips and tricks and tools and telling you all of the different things to get you on the right track to reversing type 2 diabetes and the inflammation that causes some other chronic inflammatory conditions. If this content has been helpful for you, I want you to say helpful in the chat, give us a comment, give us a thumbs up. And I want you to also share with other people so we can share the health, because when we share the health, we share the love. I can't wait for you to check in on tomorrow and Saturday, and as we go to our last few days together. Remember that Friday and Saturday is going to be a separate link that you will need to get to those sessions, because those shows are pre-recorded, and so there's going to be a separate link to get there. And I don't know, partner, can you tell me, Amanda, can you tell me how they would get to those links for the recorded sessions? I know that there were questions about that, how to get to those links, if you can let me know. And so you'll need that separate link to get to those videos. Do you know, Amanda?
I'll schedule both shows today, and then you'll be able to send out the links from the scheduled shows.
Beautiful.
But they
Okay, so
won't
what
be
you
in
will have
the
to,
live. They won't be in the live column. They will be in the. So normally the shows are over here in the live column, but because they're going to be scheduled ahead of time, they will be under either the home column or the videos column. So
okay,
they'll be up in.
perfect. Perfecto. Okay. That's what we will do. So make sure you check that out to make sure you get to the right sessions for day 36, 37, and day 38. We'll come back live on day 39, and then our last day is going to be a question and answer period. So make sure you're there to bring your questions. So we're going to be shutting it down and partying on the way out, because we are totally excited to see you guys go towards optimal health, because that's our goal. Yes, that is our goal. I'm so glad that it's been helpful for you. Remember, our books are available on Amazon, the Reverse It book and the Reverse It Success Journal, where you can actually journal what is going on. It gives you tips and tricks and tools, talks about the right cookware, the right utensils, because when you have the right tools, it makes everything easier. When you don't have the right tools and you're struggling, it's a very difficult feat. But the right tools for the right job gives you the right success. We also know that it is a flu season time, or immune boosting time. So this is a powerful immune booster to help to boost your immune system. It's at powermypack.com. Powermypack.com. Guys, remember, success is health. Health is the new currency. And I'm so glad that you're spending it wisely. So we will see you again tomorrow. Is that Friday? We'll see you sort of tomorrow. Same time, same station. And guess what? My birthday is on Saturday. Can you believe that? Same time, same station, different channel. Thank you guys so much for a different session. Same time, same station, different session. So we will see you again. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.